Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the C Weekly, episode 7, back for some more C upcoming events and results. Unfortunately though, there wasn't any major results this week, basically a week off for us. I mean, it's about time we had one. It's been a pretty insane couple of months, but there's actually quite a few upcoming events. So this first section, I'll cut a little bit short. I was going to actually add a few, small tournaments, community opens and stuff like that, but I thought that might just take a lot of time and people might not be as interested in it. So I'll just cut into the chase, get the upcoming events, and thank goodness we are going to, because there are heaps and heaps of upcoming events for the next few weeks. So this week we're going to talk about them, as well as that instead of a player profile this week, we're going to talk about an upcoming event and give you guys a bit of a preview as to the players going there. So a bit of a change in format. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, let me know. If you don't, then I'll change it back. Thank you. And next up, we do have upcoming events. Quite a few events coming up over the next few weeks. To end the year out, I've got to say, usually gets quiet towards the end of the year, but not for us. It is getting a lot more busier. First up, we do have Dox's Cup, which was announced. It will be on the NA server. Take place in the first week of December. Looks to be pretty cool. Some international players are going there, so sign up. See if you get placed against Damaga. See if you can knock him out. Should be pretty easy way to get yourself known as a player, I've got to say. Also coming up is the Arena LAN in the last weekend of November. Looks to be very good. All the best players in Australia are going pretty much. Like you got Sydney players, you got Melbourne players, as well as the Adelaide locals going. Should be a pretty massive event. I'm definitely looking forward to watching that. Should be pretty fun. Also coming up is Masters Cup. It will take place next weekend, in fact. And what's really awesome about this is the prize pool's being increased. In fact, it's being increased to $265. That's like almost more than double even. That's a lot of an increase. As well as that, there is the $10 Lucky Door prize just for signing up. You sign up, you lose your first game, you're eligible to get the $10. It's pretty cool, get a bit of a lunch out of there. You can sit around on a Sunday night, watch some StarCraft. Looks to be pretty awesome. Definitely excited for that. Also coming up in the last weekend of November and the second weekend of December is a tournament I'm not going to announce. I can't announce yet. It's not my tournament, but definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm just saying, keep your calendars free for this. This is looking to be a pretty big tournament. It should be announced over the next few weeks. Definitely tune in for that when that is announced. Very exciting. Also coming up will be the ACL qualifiers that take place next weekend, in fact, in Perth, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Sydney. The Sydney one's the one I'll be paying most attention to, obviously being a local player. And actually, for our review this week and a preview of our upcoming tournament, we'll be looking at that Sydney qualifier, which players are possibly looking at taking the event, and which ones are sort of dark horses. Who knows? We'll jump into that straight away. Changing up this week, we are going to try something a bit different. Instead of doing a player review and watching a replay, we're going to do a preview of an upcoming tournament that I think is a pretty big show. Some very good players there. And yes, it is the City Hunter StarCraft 2 Kingston competition number 2. Competition number 1 took place a few weeks ago with Mafia winning it over Unigine in the finals. But number 2 looks to have a much bigger lineup of players due to the partnership with ACL. This event is the ACL qualifier for Sydney, so obviously all the best players in Sydney are looking to turn up to this event and hopefully perform well. It will take place next Sunday on the 20th of November at 10 a.m. at City Hunter Burwood. For those guys that usually go to City Hunter events, make sure you recognize it is at Burwood and not at Chinatown. I think every single StarCraft 2 event, except for the WCG qualifiers, has been in Chinatown so far. And I think there's been any in Burwood yet. So definitely make sure you turn to Burwood and not Chinatown, because that'd be awkward if you went to the wrong store. It is sponsored by Kingston, as I mentioned, and I will be streaming the event. Usually we don't stream LAN events because it's really hard to get it set up, but I've worked something out. So I will be streaming all the events, basically because Zarya does have a partnership with City Hunter and Kingston. So I will help out in that regard, hopefully get a bit of publicity there. But yeah, if you want to watch it, stream links right there at Twitch TV/BenjiSC2. So definitely looking to be pretty good. Also, for the players, I mean, I promised some sort of predictions, I guess. I want to give three players, a bit of a shout out that I think are going to perform well, as well as a dark horse, someone that I kind of think could do well, but, isn't like a favorite or anything like that. Let's look at the three favorites right now. First up, we do have T-Gun. Now, T-Gun recently joined It's Gosu. I mean, he left FXO and joined It's Gosu. That's obviously a great pickup for him. I'm sure it's a good idea for T-Gun. I'm sure it's what he wants. Looks to be pretty good. But Gosu T-Gun will be coming to the event. And, I mean, up until WCG, people have been like, oh, is he good? Is he not good? But at WCG National Finals, he basically came second behind Glade and said, hey, look, I'm actually really good at this game. And the people that played him kind of went, oh, okay, yeah, he is really good. He hasn't performed well in online events. And that's because up until, I think, he's getting his internet changed now, but he's been on Optus internet. So every time he plays C events, he's playing with 250, 300 ping, whereas to NA, he's actually getting like only 100 or something like that. So it's actually really detrimental for him, especially playing at that top level. Having such a significant delay is a massive disadvantage, especially for a Zerg player playing best of ones. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. Can't expect him to be performing as well online, but this is an offline event, so that's not going to happen. This is going to be the same sort of setup as WCG Nationals. No one's going to have any advantage. So T-Gun is my number 1 pick to take this event. I've got to say, like, he's a really strong player. Number 2 pick is going to be TT Pig. Pig's a really interesting player. He's been around the scene for a long time. In fact, I remember my first LAN back in, I think it was January. I remember seeing Pig there. I think it was his first LAN too. And it was all good and fun, and I had a good time. I met him there. And he's been playing at events since then, but up until probably about a month or two ago, he's been doing well, just hasn't really broken out as like one of the best players. But a month or two ago, he won WCG Brisbane after failing twice the qualifier. I mean, that's a bit of a shame. I mean, Sydney qualifier was pretty stacked. Melbourne got a bit unlucky, but came through, just won Brisbane straight up. That was a pretty hard pull, so definitely kudos to him. But also went through the Nationals and came 3rd there behind T-Gun and Glade, so very good showing. As well as that, he's been performing really well in online tournaments. So I'm looking to see him perform really well at this event. He has won a City Hunter event before, back in, I think it was February. I forget the month, it was a long time ago. I haven't seen him perform well at the recent City Hunter events. He's usually made it to the top 8, but then been knocked out by, there's so many good players in Sydney. It's really not, no one's really given to win. But I'm looking to see him go far. I think he's got what it takes. I think it's a good time for him. I think he's playing quite well. He's a very smart player as well. I don't say this about too many people. A lot of people win with like Macro having great mechanics and stuff, but Pig, he understands the game. There aren't many players in C that do understand the game, but I can tell he does. So I love watching him play. My 3rd pick will be Igers. I was torn up here. I mean, I've got a few teammates or a few other players in Sydney that are good, but I thought Igers is playing very well lately. He's doing well in all the tournaments, like he came 4th at WCG Nationals. He's also just been going deep in all the online brackets as well. In fact, there hasn't been that many offline tournaments, so in all the online brackets, he's going pretty deep, just not winning them quite. I think this could be the tournament for him. I think, obviously, depending on how the brackets fall and that sort of stuff, he is one of the few Terrans in C, so people are going to be less practiced against him, most people playing against Zerg. He's just a very solid player. He's been practicing his ass off, I can tell you that much. And he's just an all-around solid player. I'm looking to see him perform quite well, and I hope he can, obviously, being his manager, but completely unbiased aside, like, he's a great player. Anyone can see that. I mean, yeah, I'm very interested to see how he turns out. And finally, for my dark horse pick, it's going to be Jun. Now, people are going to look at this and go, oh, why don't you pick one of the other players, But Jun is like the ultimate dark horse. This guy will come out of nowhere and will just get tournament wins. Like, it's ridiculous what he does. I honestly think he could be the guy that sort of at the end of the day walks away with the prize, because he's a very good player. He does astonishingly well in offline events. Online events, he kind of does okay, but offline events, he shows up and puts his game face on. So I'm looking forward to see if he does come as well. I'm not even sure if he's on the sign-up list. I didn't actually cross-check it, but I'm sure he will at least try and manage his way down there unless he's busy. Looks to be pretty good, but hopefully you guys like my preview. I mean, there are players I didn't mention. I mean, Light and Mafia are 2 off the top of my head. And I'm sorry, I can't mention all of you. But I mean, Sydney's such a stacked bracket. It looks to be a great tournament. Looking to be very, very excited about this. I mean, definitely you guys should tune in. I mean, the Sydney, I don't think is, as far as the other states goes, I think Sydney has the most top tier players. Obviously, there are some second tier players as well. But anyway, whatever. It's a pretty good event. Definitely tune into that, guys. Twitch.tv/BenJesse2. It will go up, I think, the stream about 1 p.m. I'll skip the group stage and jump straight into the top 8. It'll be a top 8 double elimination, as always with City Hunter events. Looks to be very good, and definitely tune in for that. It's going to be very exciting. Thank you for watching the C Weekly. This was episode 7. Hope you guys enjoyed the bit of a change in format. This is not going to be standard. This is just going to be like the one-off. When there's a major event on, for most weeks we will do player profiles. Unless, of course, you really love this a lot more. But give me your feedback. Let me know what you like and what you don't like. And definitely tune in next week.